Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I want to talk about natural gas fracking and the problems inherent in it. But before I get to that main issue, I would like to address commentary on my last issue and on the idea of Ponzi schemes and private health insurance and Social Security and this sort of thing. One needs to really look at history in order to understand that private insurance companies are Ponzi schemes. If anybody is a Ponzi scheme, it's a private insurance company. Look at AIG in the collapse of 2008. The reason why AIG collapsed is because it's a fucking Ponzi scheme. They did not have the money to pay the fucking claims. Every fucking insurance company is exactly the same. Do you think that health is an important fucking issue? Do you think that health for people, for living fucking human beings, as opposed to paying off on fucking contracts and fucking derivatives? So if you have a government-run program that has an extremely low overhead like Medicare, which is backed by the government, which is able to, by its very nature as a sovereign entity, to back any claims that come before it, that makes infinite more sense. And the very nature of private enterprise is supposedly so people can negotiate and come to terms of agreement. And doesn't it make more sense to have everybody in one giant pool to negotiate the lowest possible rates for outrageously inflated fucking pharmaceuticals and medical care? And that's why single payer, government run medical insurance is the best possible solution. And yet, everybody wants to talk about Ponzi schemes and then refer you to a private company which is a fucking Ponzi scheme! And any kind of privatized Social Security program would be the exact same fucking thing! And there would be absolutely nothing to prevent that fucking company from going belly fucking up and your goddamn fucking retirement money being fucking shoveled down the maw of bankruptcy. And the same thing goes for your health care if you want to say Medicare is a Ponzi scheme. I'm so sick of your fucking idiocy. By all means, take it from the federal Ponzi scheme and put it into the private enterprise Ponzi scheme. You fucking morons. It just makes me so fucking mad. Now, Ron Paul wants to go a step further by privatizing unemployment insurance. Same fucking thing, asshole! Let's have a private insurance company give us unemployment insurance so that when we're all fucking laid off and it doesn't have the money to pay you, all of your fucking money that you put into there goes down the chute of fucking bankruptcy. You fucking asshole! Fuck you! And fuck your privatizing ideas. You can shove them all up your fucking asses. Now, on to fracking. Fracking is a very important issue here in Pennsylvania, and it should be in New York, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, and some other areas around the country as well because of the very deadly nature of it. In Pennsylvania and these states nearby that I mentioned, there are two shale formations. That is the Utica Shale, which is deeper, and the Marcellus Shale, which is nearer to the surface, shallower. I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with what fracking is, and this is hydraulic fracturing of shale in order to release natural gas that's trapped within the geological formation. And what happens is they take water, and they're very quick to tell you that the water is 99.5% water. Well, that's wonderful. But if the 0.5% is deadly fucking chemicals that they will not even tell you what the fuck they are, because it's a trade fucking secret, then I guess the 99.5% natural clear water doesn't make a fucking difference, does it? So they push this water down into the shale formation, and under pressure they fracture the shale. The natural gas is released, and then it is pumped back out. Most of the deadly contaminated water stays underground, but some of it does come back up. Now, in every case, they're drilling through the water table to access the shale. Now, they want to tell you that so many precautions are put into place to prevent the contamination of groundwater, but just look at what happened in the Gulf of Mexico whenever you had the Gulf oil disaster. It doesn't matter what kind of precautions or whatever are put into place, because they can all be defeated, and they all are defeated by Mother Nature and by human error. Now, this is a fundamental thing. It's the water that we rely on to fucking live. Now, let's not even comment upon the environmental impact of all of these wells springing up everywhere, heavy trucks and equipment moving in and out, and the damage that that's going to have to local infrastructure. Okay? And here in Pennsylvania, the state doesn't want to put any kind of burden on these companies at all. They don't want to have a tax. They're only begrudgingly thinking about some kind of impact fee, which will be way too low for whatever kind of impact they're going to have. But let's look at this a little bit better, shall we? We're talking about the destruction of our own lives by the ultimate contamination of water. But that's not even the end of it. In Ohio, there were a series of quakes that even the fascist Mussolini Governor Kasich was forced to shut down injection pumping at certain fracking wells because they acknowledged that this caused earthquakes. Now, prior to this, there has been some contention about that. But now I think it is firmly established that fracking can, in fact, cause earthquakes. Now, I ask you, if you're pumping this into this contaminated water with deadly chemicals that they won't even tell you what the fuck they are, and there is a record and absolute proven fact that groundwater has been contaminated by these things, and methane, and all these other things that are also released along with the natural gas that they don't want to tell you about, all the other deadly chemicals that are released that are trapped in that shale as well, so that people can light their water on fire when it comes out of their tap. You're putting this under pressure down there and causing an earthquake, and you're going to tell me that your shaft that you have so rigorously constructed to prevent the contamination of groundwater, you're going to subject it to an earthquake that you made. And somehow this is going to be absolutely, perfectly safe against earthquakes from any kind of cracks or seepage or anything else. Yeah, right. And let's go one step further to the idiotic clown show Republicans, who every one of them want to climb over top of the other one for less and less regulation. Well, by all means, let's get rid of all the regulation. Let's let the gas company come in and take your fucking land with eminent domain, which doesn't have to apply to public use anymore. They can take it for corporate use. Fuck you. You don't own anything. You own nothing. You rent the very surface of your land. That's it. You have nothing else. So let the well come in and put it in your backyard. Dump toxic sludge onto your house. and contaminate your water so that you can light your fucking water on fire when it comes out. Because this is what corporations do. They're to make money. They do not care if they murder you. Because they realize that they may murder a certain number of people. But while in the process of doing that, and in the subsequent court cases and everything else that will finally determine the fact that they murdered you, they will have made so much fucking profit off the back of you and everybody else that they killed that it won't make a difference to them. Do you think they don't plan all of this out? Look at Fight Club, what they talk about in there. Edward Norton's character worked for an insurance automaker claim processing thing or something like that. And they had a formula that they worked out. If they determined that something was bad with a car, they calculated all the factors. Would it cost more to recall or to settle claims? In other words, they have murder incorporated into their fucking business model. They don't care if they contaminate your fucking water. They don't care if they kill you. They don't care if they give your children birth defects. So by all means, let's get rid of all the government regulations. The crushing burden of government regulations. God forbid I should have clean fucking water. By all means, let's rely on the great benevolent fucking corporations to, of their own free will, decide to keep everything nice and fucking clean for everybody. Fuck you! Thank you. Good day.